This is a reply to The Geek Shriek, Mr. Dre Knows Best and OGFAT505. Now I am here to present my top 5 movies of all time. Now this top 5 doesn't change often, so it's a pretty concrete list. If anything, it's only the order that ever really changes. So, let's get on with it. These are my top 5 movies of all time. Number 5. American Pie. American Pie revolves around 4 guys who make a pact to lose their virginity before their high school prom. The reason I love this film so much is because it's all about high school, and it really relates to what myself and my friends went through when we were in high school. Plus there's boobs. It's probably the funniest movie of my generation, like how the last generation had Animal House. It's got everything. Pant pissing, raging diarrhea, a guy fucking a pie, plus there's boobs. If you haven't seen it, then do so because it is awesome. Plus there's boobs. Number 4. Terminator 2, Judgement Day. Terminator 2 follows John Connor, future saviour of the human race, who is being hunted down by a liquid metal killing machine from the future. Wow, what an amazing movie. I actually saw this before I saw the first one, and I'm glad I did because it introduced me to this great franchise, and I just love everything that's came out of the Terminator franchise since. Even Terminator Salvation. Arnie's portrayal of the good Terminator is absolutely brilliant, and the journey that John and Uncle Bob, as the good Terminator is known, go on is a great examination of human behaviour and our relationships with each other as well as technology. If you haven't seen it yet, you're about the only person. In my opinion, this is the second greatest sci-fi movie of all time. Which is first? Keep watching and you'll find out. Number 3. The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is the second in Chris Nolan's series of Batman films. It follows the Caped Crusader as he tries to rid Gotham of crime once and for all, until he is brought up against the psychopathic Joker. The character of the Joker is what really stands out here. Heath Ledger was absolutely outstanding, and although his death was a tragedy, it's a fitting performance to be his last. When watching, you totally forget it's Heath Ledger. I know I did, and you truly believe that you're watching a madman on screen. For me, that is what makes a truly great actor, and the loss of Heath Ledger is truly a disappointment to the world of cinema. The only negative I can take from the film is that they replaced Katie Holmes from Batman Begins with Maggie Gyllenhaal. I mean, come on, they could have got someone hotter than Maggie Gyllenhaal. Number 2. Star Wars. Okay, let's be honest, Star Wars is awesome. I don't need to tell you what it's about, because if you don't already know, then you've probably been in a coma for the last 35 years, in which case you should get off YouTube now and go watch the bloody thing. Star Wars is one of those movies that I can watch 10 times in a row and just never get bored. There are so many different edits of the movie that you can watch it any way you want. Personally, I prefer to watch the original. I love to watch it in its first incarnation. It really makes me wish that I was 15 years older so that I could have been there when it was first released. Now, the only reason it's not number 1 on the list is because of The Phantom Menace. Unfortunately, this movie was so poor that it just brings the entire Star Wars franchise down in my opinion. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. My number 1 favourite movie of all time is... Where the hell's the drum roll coming from? The Shawshank Redemption! The Shawshank Redemption tells the story of Andy Dufresne, a man who is sent to prison for murdering his wife. He befriends some of the other inmates and starts laundering money for the warden, so gains protection from the guards. Despite its poor box office performance, this has to go down as one of the greatest movies of all time. It's an amazing character piece, and seeing Andy go through what he does really makes you think and feel. Morgan Freeman is absolutely brilliant, and it just goes to show you that you don't need a cast of huge stars to make an amazing movie. Unfortunately, it does take big stars to sell tickets. To recap, my favourite movies of all time are American Pie, T2, Judgement Day, The Dark Knight, Star Wars, and The Shawshank Redemption. Other honourable mentions are Toy Story, Ghostbusters, The Lion King, and American Psycho. So finally, I'd just like to give a shout out to The Geek Shriek, Mr. Dre Knows Best, and OgFat505, who all inspired me to make this video. Stay cool, YouTube, and remember, don't do Twilight.